how does that look? I've clicked the 4K button. Can you see me better? I mean, this is a 1080p well, it's not a 1080p camera, but like I think I can only push 1080p through the. Anyway, whatever. Point is, we're live. Kabaza's just finding out his earphones because he keeps ruining our audio. You're trying to raw dog our podcast here, man, without earphones.
You know what's funny? Well, we are now live on Instagram as well. You saved these. If it wasn't for you mentioning it, I would throw them into the washing machine with the rest of the.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah,
so they were in your dirty laundry or something?
Yes, they were in my dirty laundry.
Wow.
Hello, hi Tobias. How are you doing, guys? So yeah, so now I'm gonna wear them so we will have like better audio.
In celebration of that saving. I mean, they're not that expensive. Are they Apple ones? They're not that expensive to replace, are they?
Yeah, these are old ones.
I was thinking about those the other day. Like, it's so nice just to have something that doesn't need batteries, doesn't need charging. You could just plug it in and go. Like, I miss those days a little bit.
I have dongles, so I hate them. I want my AirPod Pros, but the case is broken. The case is broken, and I don't want to buy a new case because I want to buy the new one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So when I replaced my AirPods with the USB-C ones, I made more money selling the case and each AirPod separately than I would have made just selling the whole thing.
Oh.
Because people still buy the AirPods, you know, especially when they lose them. It's like, what, you know, some people are icked out by it, and I don't blame them. But some people are like, yeah, whatever, just stick it.
That's one of the reasons why I don't buy it. And it's the case. Like the AirPods are fine, the case is broken, but I'm still, I don't like the idea. So I don't like sharing them.
Yeah, makes sense. Shout out to my mate Smith, who will always like buy broken shit. And then he'll kind of fix it. So I bet he could open that up, or just, you know.
I want to, but they are pretty like bad. So these are like as bad as that it gets when it comes to like repairability. Especially the new ones, they have, I believe, something like 0 or like 1 from iFixit. They have like one of the worst ratings because they are not fixable at all. But I do fix things, by the way. I do.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely enjoy fixing broken stuff.
As a man, it's our duty to fix things.
Yeah, I mean, I have tons of tools, and I like look what I have on my desk. I have a bunch of I have so many of these batteries. Like I have. What are these batteries?
They look big. They look massive.
These are not normal batteries. What are they?
These are AA. They must be like single A.
Well, these are, I don't know what, well, I actually know what they are called. They have it written on them. They are 18650 batteries. So it's just naming. And these are from my power bank. So I had an old power bank.
That's a Freudian slip there.
No,
yeah, I've got a smart bong that I can link up to my phone.
No. So it was not broken, but it was so big that I couldn't use it properly, and I had a better one. So what I did, I opened it up, I took these out, and I can actually use them. I use them in my torch. So I have a bunch of I am a man with a billion tools, so I can use them.
For your power bomb.
To explode it. Yeah. So.
Very good.
How have you been doing?
Been doing good. I would have let you down this week, I'm afraid. The last 2 days, or the last 2 weeks, right? You've actually no, maybe not the last 2 weeks, but last week's for sure. And then previously, you always raised the question do you watch AI content, or do you and you're you actively skip it, right? I have been balls deep in listening to AI music the last few days. It's not just like randomly generated AI music, but do you like Blink-182?
I have no idea.
Okay, fine. Anyway, they were like one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
And I find actually no, we'll go right back to the beginning. I get sent. Do you know Korn at all?
No.
Like okay, no, that's disturbed, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, my mate sends me a soul version of a Korn song. Now, Korn are like heavy metal, new metal, neo metal, something like this, whatever. And the soul version is just so good. Maybe I've got it in my history here. Here we go. Copyright free, baby. We don't have to do it.
Is it AI generated?
AI generated. You know, just chilling.
Yeah.
But the original is like raw, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you hear the lyrics, it's really cool. And then I discovered this guy called Professor, so shout out Professor. But then I just get given all of these AI covers because they've got so much better now. Like I remember I was sent Slipknot. You must know Slipknot.
Yeah.
So I got sent a Slipknot, or I found a Slipknot version. It was good, but you could tell it had an AI voice on it and stuff like this. Anyway, I'm on this rabbit hole, and then I get recommended. I'm slightly drunk last night, and I get home, and I just get recommended on my feed Blink-182's Adam's song. I want to show you the. I mean, maybe you can see it, I don't know. But like the covers are like this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
With the black guy afro and stuff like this. And I'm just like jamming out to this music last night. Like maybe you know the riff. It kind of plays around with the pitch at the moment. And I'm just
this is AI?
And this is AI. And then you get to the chorus and I've just got chills running down my spine because it's so good.
That's actually pretty good.
It's so good.
So you're listening to AI music.
Because this song is a very, it's a dark song, right? He's talking about suicide and stuff like this. But the juxtaposition of that song being so like happy and like optimistic was like, it's just like really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good. Like I just listened to it thinking how it's always better in some ways, but it's a minor song, and that's obviously a major key version of it. And like, yeah, I'm listening to it and I'm trying to work out how they do it, because you can't just like whack a song and say, make this. I do think there's a level of craftsmanship that has to go into that. Like maybe they take the lyrics and then they plug in a melody and they do the individual tracks that then bring. Do you know what I mean? Like it can't just be like it can't be just like a one-shot wonder. I have no idea. If anyone knows how they do all this, I don't know. But saying all that, like this music, first of all, I remember watching a video actually. First of all, this music couldn't exist without the real version. Like, it's novel to me because it's like Blink-182 would never produce that version, like would never make that music. So there's a comedy in that, and there's like a, what do you even call it, like a parallel universe type of aspect to it. So the original needs to exist for that to take place. And again, we get into the discussion of like hating AI art and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like there's a place for that doesn't outwardly just, it doesn't critique anyone. You still get people in the comments, obviously. Once I realized this was AI, I shut it down. It's like, I saw one comment in the Corn one where someone was like, I enjoyed this until I found out it was AI. And it's like, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Like what? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you that I've literally been actively going on to some of these songs and of the rock genre and listening to these soul jazz versions. And I'm sorry to let you down, but
no, I have listened to AI music in the past.
Oh, okay. The truth comes out.
Yeah, I have. But it's when somebody makes it and it's intentional and it's something behind it, why not? Like, I have no issues whatever with that, because in that, AI is just a tool used by a creative to do whatever they want to do, maybe better, faster, whatever. I don't have an issue with that. So I've listened to music, AI music, but I'm laughing because I've been sent a lot of Sora made videos, like AI generated videos. Like, my DMs are full with my friends sending me those videos, and they are mostly, well, almost all of them are memes. Essentially, like Albert Einstein doing something funny. And it's kind of like, it has become a new meme generator. We can talk about it later in the show, but we've been promised AGI, and we have a glorified meme generator now.
If you've read AI, what's it called? iRobot. No. Yeah, iRobot. It's one of the first sci-fi books ever. He starts by saying, we're going to use robots to set clocks and check the weather and stuff like that. And this is exactly, maybe we won't ruin it right now, but this is kind of heading in the direction of the conversation where I was saying before the call. Why do I keep calling it a call? Before the show, I was saying that AI is in this bubble. Like, we're trying to do so much, but actually it will just settle into just having fun with it. You know, we think it's going to change the world. We think we're going to turn us into dumb people and this and that. And it's like,
have you seen Idiocracy?
That's the film. No, it's Idiocracy.
Yeah. Idiocracy, yes.
Yeah. I've seen it many years ago. I couldn't reel off, but I know the idea, the concept. It's kind of like WALL-E, but real life.
So we get dumber and dumber because, like, it's quite funny. So if anybody wants to watch it, it's not like the best movie, but the idea is pretty good.
It's like stoner. That's your power bomb coming out. It's kind of like stoner. I think there's a name for it, but it's in the same sort of realm as like Scary Movie and what's those two smoker dudes? Something Cheech and Chong, is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's funny. It's good.
Yeah.
That's my anything to raise before we jump into the.
No, we will talk about the meme generator and Sora in a second. So, once we get into it. So maybe you send me a few like good music, like.
But I think you need to know the original. So like, you tell me what music you like. I think that's where my enjoyment comes out. Well, to be honest, that's a kick-ass song. But maybe I should close my window. Is that? Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Yes.
I'm gonna go close my window. Just do some magic again.
Yeah, to what magic? So magic trick. So I'm gonna show you. No, I'm kidding. I have my cards always here with me. I'm practicing. I'm pretty good in person, but I have never done it on camera. So let me see, like, if people are chatting on Instagram. No comments. So a lot of people joining and leaving. Guys, when you join, there's a rule. You have to stay. You cannot leave again.
And they just come in and think, oh, AI music, fuck this.
Yeah, essentially. So you have to stay, guys. So
in the background,
we have some people on Instagram, so we can start. We have quite a lot to talk about, and after the show, I don't have to leave too early, but I have to leave pretty much on time.
Same actually. I've got a party to go to.
Yeah, a party. Well, I have to do shopping, and after shopping, I'll go shoot my friends in laser.
Dark real quick, didn't it?
So my siblings and my friends, they have a scheduled laser tag, and I just found out like an hour or two later before that we have some laser tag to do.
Hang on, you just found out or you completely forgot?
No, we have a group with the boys, and I didn't know if they have a plan for tonight, and apparently they do have a plan, and the plan is that I will shoot them.
Cool. There you
with
go.
Laser. Pew pew pew. Okay.
Cool. Let's do the intro and get this over and done with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you ready?
I'm ready.
So this week we had OpenAI DevDay, Chrome MCP, a new framer pricing, and a few things about Webflow. All of this in this week's episode. This is Command AI. I'm Kabarza.
And I'm Sam. And this is a week in AI design and dev.
Cool. So should we start with Chrome MCP?
Do you know what? That's a fabulous idea. That's a wonderful idea. So this is really cool, actually.
So can you like explain your kind of like
intro. Let me do the intro, and then we can chat.
Do the intro like I'm two. Explain it to me like I'm two.
Forget Playwright, forget Cypress, forget all of these automation tools. Chrome have just released the MCP server to take care of all of your diagnostic needs.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that we can use can we chat to AI to use Chrome?
You actually mentioned this. This is why I kind of wanted to bring it up, because you asked whether you can inspect the Chrome DevTools and look at the code and do this and do that. This is what enables you to do. So MCPs are basically an API into a tool, and this will become very relevant later on when we talk about DevDay. They've basically given you an API that you can modify and do things and look at things in the Chrome browser, whether that's diagnostics when it comes to like running have you ever done Lighthouse and things like that? So you can look at that sort of stuff. You can look at the code. You can look at what's on the actual screen itself. So they've given you an API there, and the MCP layer. Does that make sense to you? Let's break this down. Does that make sense?
Yes, but does this happen on? Yes, but does this happen on my machine, or is it like on a virtual server? Like, can I?
This is on your machine. So the web page you're currently looking at right now inside of Chrome has now an API wrapped around it.
Okay.
That you can now interact with using a tool that has MCP functionality. So Claude, Desktop, Warp. I don't know what do people use for MCP. So you can say, Chrome MCP server. What browser tab are you on? Something like that. Or what's the current Lighthouse score of this page? Something like that.
That is super cool. Yes, that is super. So I can theoretically, like build a project with Webflow and then use Cursor to know what I'm building
what's on the screen. I don't know if you can take action on those things. I don't know. I literally don't know. But yeah, you can. What can you use it for? Verified code changes in real time. So what browser, verifying the browser that your change worked as expected. So this is obviously if you're developing, right? If you're writing some code and you just want to check that it actually appeared on the front end. So this is where we get into, testing and things like that.
So maybe no more pasting of my console log into Cursor, so Cursor can just read it.
Cursor can just read it, exactly. A few images aren't loading. What's happening? So it could, and then because it can read the console, it can look at those console logs and do all that. Whereas
the network tab, a lot of times I had issues with
exactly
navigating the network tab and understand what is not loading. Why is that not working?
So look, it can take action. Why does submitting the form fail after entering an email address? So this is obviously has to submit that form to be able to give you what the errors are in the console. So this is really, really good. And performance audits. Look, this is what I was saying about the Lighthouse stuff as well. Live styling and layout issues. So we can see the code, you can see the CSS. It can be really, really handy. And it's just a simple case of adding that into Cursor. That's all you've got to do.
So how does it come to play with something like, these agentic stuff that Chrome is trying to do? And of course, something like DIA browser, because with this, does that mean that the AI layer that we will have will have like more control over whatever page you're on?
Well, this is obviously geared towards devs and designers, right? I don't think the average person is going to interact with Chrome through MCP. Nothing's stopping them doing it, of course, if they want to. But like, this is going to empower us as we code and we work to have a workflow, and we can get into this, have a workflow where we're making changes in our code and we're just verifying that things are happening over in Chrome properly. So that, I don't think it has any, well, it doesn't demonstrate any compatibility with the AI layer that Dia has or Comet has or whatever. There's no MCP or there's no API to interact with that sort of stuff. We're just interested in the code that actually gets rendered on the page and the logs in the console and the network traffic and stuff like that. So it's really the development side that it empowers. So it's really cool.
This is really interesting. Like, I really love the idea. And this is going to open so many doors.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I've been really going hard in trying to sort of formalize an AI coding workflow. And one of the big things for me has been MCP servers. And so I've got an MCP server that goes out and searches, because generic webs, there are MCP servers that actually search specifically GitHub and coding related stuff. It's like Google for coders. It only ever returns coders results and things like that. So that can obviously refine, when Claude Code goes and does a web search, it's going to get a bunch of results from nothing to do with development. So I've got Exa, which is my MCP server for doing that. I've got Ref, which is up-to-date documentation. And so with that, I've then got rules and sub-agents that pick up on whenever I do this, use that MCP.
Okay.
And one thing, and I've released a video to my patrons yesterday, which is a real in-depth look at how I'm using Claude Code and doing the rest of it. And I finalize it by saying one thing I really want to get better at, which is where Chrome MCP comes in, is the actual looking at the rendering and bringing that into the life cycle. So I would write a rule to say something along the lines of verify, this and that, or just getting it in. It's more habitual. You've got to get into a habit. I think you've got to remember the MCP servers that you have and say, oh, do check that. I bought. Oh, go on.
Do you know Unlighthouse?
No, I don't know.
So you mentioned Lighthouse. So we have Unlighthouse, which is a funny name. It's literally Google Lighthouse, but for your entire site. So it instead of like just lighthousing one page, it takes your entire website, like all of your pages, and it tests everything. So it's really cool to basically just do this with one command for your entire website.
Yeah.
I was thinking if this can do that.
I don't know if I like that idea. I don't know if we talk about context. You start to try and I can see the appeal of like testing the whole site, but page by page, like who wants to be testing all of this stuff all at once? I've got to unshare.
Yeah.
I want to know how to bring my page down without removing it from.
Yeah. How can I change?
Because if I remove it, boring stuff now, but in the edit, if I remove it, it'll just send me the link. I
didn't want to, I want to share the screen and then change it to mine, but it seems like I can't. I can't swap it.
So I can't share it. It's not me.
Okay, so it's okay. It doesn't matter. I want to show. Oh, actually, wait. Can you? I think I can do it. Yeah, I know. Okay.
How did you do that? How did you do that?
Just press remove on the boxes that we have below.
Oh, I knew that. That's what I was trying to avoid. But
so
all good.
I thought if I press remove, it cancels the screen share, but it's just remove. Okay, so.
Yeah, no, it used to. I think I used to, so that's good to know.
Yeah. Cool. So this is on Lighthouse. And it gives you this view, which is really cool. Look.
you wouldn't run this all the time. You would do this like once every so often.
Yeah.
Like, this is too much to do after every change. Like you give yourself a break, I think, a little bit, and like.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought of this, because when I thought of an MCP that can do, at something with a page that I give it to, maybe it could do it with multiple ones. And
because to bring it to talk about the AI side of things and improving dev workflows and stuff like that, it's becoming more and more apparent to me that you get much better results if you're very isolated and focused on one specific area. And I think that goes in this case as well. Work on the performance on a page by page basis. Like what good does it take? I mean, the one thing I can see that's quite good about that is that you can test the whole site, and then if something is coming up red, as in really bad, there's your priority. That's all I can see that's really good for. But either way, it's whatever.
Cool.
But so MCP servers are becoming a big part of my workflow. The only thing to say about it is that maybe for not your case, but MCP servers eat up context. So I noticed I had a bunch of MCP servers like enabled for my website, as I'm coding, and I would run out of context very, very quickly because it's eating up loads of context. And you can check your context in Claude Code. You can get like a nice diagram and you see that MCP adds up. So I removed a bunch because I'm like, well, I don't really do that. I don't really use that very regularly through my coding workflow. Like I might as well just do that outside, or I'll do that once a day or something like that. I just don't need it I don't need it like within arm's reach. So I just turn off that MCP, save myself a bit of context. But this does like something that would work its way into my 100%, like I'd need it all the time MCP server. I just need to build that workflow. So
I got a question on that. We might need a AI engineer to answer it. I'm not sure. But do we get do we use context exponentially? So as we chat with the AI system, do we use the context exponentially? Meaning that, from what I understand, every time you chat to the AI, every word, all the way back to the first letter, is given as a kind of like the seed back to the machine so it can produce the next word. So does that mean if you give it a huge context and then you continue chatting, you're eating it out exponentially?
So I'm glad you asked that. I'm guessing you haven't watched the fundamentals on the cursor course that we talked about last week.
But I watched a similar video. That's why probably,
But I did explain this last week, right? And this is a practical use case. No, it doesn't, because it's stateless. Every individual message you send is completely wiped. It is exponential in that every every request that you send just adds up and adds up and adds
kind
up.
of like the memory.
But it doesn't repeat itself because it's completely stateless. So it just adds a foundation to your prompting already.
And thank you for the reminder. I completely forgot. No, I watched a few videos from the channel 3 Blue 1 Brown.
Okay.
You don't know the channel?
No.
Well, it's about mathematics. It's the best channel on YouTube when it comes to anything mathematics. 3 Blue 1 Brown, amazing channel. Very deep, very niche on mathematics, but it's like NumberPy. It's also another mathematics channel. And in that channel, he talks about also AI, how AI works, because it's essentially just mathematics. And he does break it down. In some videos, he breaks it down to very simple terms. And in some other videos, he goes from simple into depth and actually how everything is being calculated and how the 3D vector mapping works for language. It's amazing. So 100% recommend.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, let's talk about DevDay, because this is pretty much, where is it? Oh, I need to add it, don't I? This is, I mean, it's huge. I'll do the intro and then we can talk about it. OpenAI just dropped a bomb of new products, and some of them have got me extremely excited. So OpenAI DevDay is a conference, as you can see here. They released apps in GPT, which is the thing that I'm very excited about. AgentKit, Sora 2 API, updates to Codex, making it, publicly available, generally available, they call it. GPT-5 Pro in the API as well. GPT Real-Time Mini, GPT Image 1 Mini. Just a bombardment of new products released. As I say, the GPT, the apps inside of GPT is the one I'm particularly excited about. Did you watch it? Did you follow along with it or anything?
No, but I watched the videos like after. I didn't watch the conference itself, but I watched like reviews and stuff.
Yeah, so apps and GPT is pretty fucking cool, and it goes back to what we talked about MCP. I think the fundamental aspect of this is MCP. I think it's a web view that has an MCP attached to it, and that you've just formatted it to sort of sit nicely within the chat. But this is basically, you can see here, Spotify. Use Spotify for this answer. This is how you interact with MCPs. You mention the MCP, or you say something to do with the MCP that it recognizes. Then it'll be like, boom, you want to chat about.
Is it
Spotify.
like a tool call?
Well, yeah, exactly. No, it's exactly what a tool call is. But these are built purposely for, or I think you can. Again, I need to look into the technicalities of this, but I think it's basically just media queries, or some form of recognizing that it's in ChatGPT. I don't know. I'll look at the SDK, but I think this is all web technologies. I don't think this is anything crazy. I think it's just TypeScript, and you can build your app, or you format your app in such a way where it just looks nice inside of ChatGPT, and you reveal a MCP server to the chat, and it can work with it. And I really like this idea. I think I do wonder where this is going to go, because are people going to use apps inside of ChatGPT? I don't know. But this is crazy. We used to say, like, when the AI application, products like the Rabbit and the Pin, things like that, we think, well, our phone can do it. Marcus Brownlee just, he had this pin on him and he asked what car it was. It was a Tesla or something. And in the time it took for this pin to get back, he just snapped it with Google Glass, and then he knew what it was on his phone. So we used to argue that these AI products could be replaced by the phone. This is then saying, well, now everything is in the one app. So you don't even need to touch you don't even need any apps on your phone. We probably do for this to actually work. I don't know whether this is done through the web or whether it actually interfaces across to the app. I probably would assume it's the website, because then that gets past Apple's nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which could, you could bypass Apple's App Store 20% thing by allowing people to purchase subscriptions through ChatGPT. And maybe ChatGPT will take a cut. I don't know. But
probably Apple will change the policy for this. But I have some feelings about this. So there are aspects of this that I like, and there are aspects of this that I think are not new at all. So talking of what I like, and I've been talking about this for quite some time, that I don't like a chat interface. Like, I don't like reading the long answers that ChatGPT gives me. And I find it fundamentally, but I would say I find it most of the time unreliable and not doing what I want in terms of the amount of text that I get from ChatGPT. Sometimes it's too short, sometimes it's too long, and I find myself specifying how much I want from it. So all of this to say, I personally don't like this chat that I get. I like talking to my phone and getting a UI. That's where we get into the good stuff, and what I've been saying, that we need more UI, not less. We went from essentially no UI. We had we didn't have a UI interface for computers at all, you know. We started with that. We started without UI, and then we built UI, and then we had this glorified UI, and now we went back to just chat again, but in a more human, natural language way. And I do believe that we want to have some level of UI because we want to see options. We are so visual based. And yes, text is somehow visual, but it's not exactly like this visual base that I'm talking about. We want to see like pictures, shapes, structures, and this, I like it because it gives me this like UI, but I would like to have more control. Another thing about this is that fundamentally nothing about this is new. Like, what is this that theoretically a good Siri couldn't do? Theoretically, yeah. So Siri is trash, right?
It's a good point, because a few weeks ago we spoke about MCP, Apple releasing MCP in their operating system, and this is exactly that. You know, this is Siri being able to control the apps themselves and whatever. I mean, I don't think Siri, it's not going to be any, like, where's the difference? Where would the difference be?
So the difference is, like, here in ChatGPT, we have one app within an operating system that is inside of a phone. So we have the phone, and then the operating system, and then an app, and then an operating system essentially within that app. So instead of this, I think we should move towards like having the AI on the operating system level, and also on the operating system on our computers, maybe also on Chrome, or like browser, because our browser is kind of like this window to essentially like 90% of what we do daily. So what I think it should happen is to have less chat and more agentic stuff. And essentially kind of like this glorified idea of an assistant that all of these companies are trying to tackle in different ways. And this, to me, is just a different way. In the examples that they showed, I don't like the one from, what's it called, like Spotify. I don't like the Spotify example. I feel like I wouldn't want it to work that way inside of Chat. I don't want to go to ChatGPT and, you know, to a new chat and start like.
But you would not do that. That's not what they're saying here. You have Spotify in your app. If you just want to open it up and play some music, of course. But as an example, I went to a concert and I took a photo of the set list, and on the piece of paper on the stage sort of thing. I posted that to ChatGPT. I said, can you go off and put together a playlist for all these songs, right? Did it? Unfortunately, because of a lack of an app ecosystem or something like that, I had to get a text thing and I had to copy that into whatever, blah, blah, blah. This could be, it's convenience. It's bringing it to you into a conversation that you're already having. Maybe you're trying to travel plan. Maybe you're saying, I'm going to Albania next month on a road trip. Where's the best places to go? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's book a place with Zoopla or wherever. You know, it's bringing the convenience to you whilst you're already chatting about.
I see. Kind of like project based.
Paste it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I don't think that's what they're trying to achieve. However, I do get your point that Siri, because it's a more higher order. I don't know whether that translates. It's more higher order, like
it's more controlled theoretically,
like that. But the long story short, Apple aren't getting their ass into gear.
Yeah,
you know, this is ChatGPT taking the power and being like, look, if you're not going to move, we're going to move, all right? And it would be great to have both options, but like whilst you're chatting away, you know, you use ChatGPT, like in the middle of a conversation, you might have come to a conclusion or booking something. Like, you just say projects, and then you can bring your thing. I think, but it's a really good point, because like I'm excited by it, and I was like, oh, what can I do with this? Where can I bring these apps in? And I thought of an app that I'm building my friend, and I'm like, I think this would be a really good use case for that. But I think your brain has got to understand why people are in ChatGPT in the first place, which can be a billion different reasons as to why. And it's up to you to figure out why people use it. And why is your app relevant within the context of ChatGPT? Because again, like you've just said, why would I go to ChatGPT to ask for this, that, and the other when I could just go to the app and get that, this, that, and the other? It's there'll be an analogy or whatever somewhere in that, some shops are in train stations because like a bookshop is in a train station because most likely those people are in the train station because they're about to go on a long journey. It's simple marketing. So does your app, is someone in the world of ChatGPT, like, does it make sense that you're cross-pollinating those roles? You're putting yourself where it's a marketing thing, right? You're putting yourself where your users are already. And now I'm thinking, probably not with my mate's app. They're probably not in the world of branding in ChatGPT. Probably, maybe.
Well, we do that as well, but I feel like ChatGPT, they have definitely a lot of users, and I feel like they're trying to try a few different things and see which one sticks. They're trying to see. They have 800 million weekly, I believe, users.
Crazy.
It's a lot of users. That's a lot of users. But I kind of feel like it's really difficult for ChatGPT to win. They are in such a difficult position if you look at operating systems and AI being on an operating system level, because we have Google and they are good with AI as well. So
could go anyway. And I think that you've just got to literally, as you say, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks, because we will find our place, and there'll be a whole number of, goes back to that video I said about Dave Shapiro released about the socio-economic impact of everything. Something might happen that contextualizes everyone just lives in ChatGPT for the rest of their lives. I don't know. The point is, you've just got to experiment. You just got to release. And on the one hand, I sympathize with the fatigue on AI, all the things. On the other hand, it's like, you've got to experiment. So, but anyway, moving on from that, the AgentKit has also got me quite excited, though it's, did you see the AgentKit? Do you know what this is?
Yes, I watched a few videos on it. So
yeah. So basically, have I got
this is probably the most interesting one, by the way.
So AgentKit, just to be clear, AgentKit is a suite of products, right? A suite of things. It's an agent builder, it's the connector registry, and it's the chat kit. So it's these three things, but I'm assuming you're talking about the agent builder, which is a no-code interface for building agents, which looks sweet. And we probably won't cover it because it's boring as fuck, but it's the Google enterprise thing today. They've also released an agent that you can build that operates across Google, which I think is just really much more powerful than this. Because it's funny you just said that, they're in a difficult position because of Google. Because Google, I'm on Google Workspace. I presume you're on Google Workspace.
Yes.
We can build agents that work across everything that we're already doing, whereas we've got to integrate this with but regardless, it's still pretty cool. This is going to be really cool for people if they can get their head into this world of, automating and building things.
And can you please zoom in just with your trackpad, zoom in?
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, because
zoom in more, even more. Look at the UI. It's the details of the UI. It's really sweet. I love their design. It's so clean. So
fun.
Any AI tool, N8N, take note. This is so approachable, so human. So I feel like Johnny Ive worked on this. I mean, who knows? Maybe he had some input.
And it's funny you talk about N8N because you got some news on N8N, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to share that now or later?
We can talk about this. Yeah, now.
Just because I think we talk about N8N being a very, very great candidate for or maybe aren't they? I think this is something they need to take note of, like you've just said.
Yeah.
They just need you need N8N Lite. Do you know what I mean? Something so simple to use, because N8N is complicated. Anyway, you were going to say.
So maybe you share the N8. You just open N8N .io. By the way, did you know that N8N is a German company? I had no idea.
What does it mean? Because I'm assuming they're
like
taking
they're based in Germany.
The word that they're shortening has 8 letters in between the first N and the second N. I'm just guessing. Like you've got got Ali. That's accessibility. Starts with A, ends in Y, and there's 11 letters in between. So I'm guessing that N8N is something like that. Anyway,
I don't know. I'm trying to
speculate.
N8N stands for nodemation.
Nodemation. Okay, so they've made up a word. That's why we couldn't figure it out. But it's that concept of 8 letters in between 2 N's. Anyway, you were going to say, so we're on N8N.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there are 8 letters between nodemation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is exactly what you said. So for those who don't know, N8N is similar to make.com, to Zapier. Mm-hmm. This is an automation tool. You basically have a start. You say, if somebody sends me a message, if I get an email, or if somebody uses the form on my website, then do a following task, anything. And what is super duper cool that you can do with not just N8N, but any like automation tool nowadays, is that you can add an AI agent, meaning that previously you would have to like map like words word by word to different places. Now you can get a full-on context. Let's say you get a message from anybody, an email, and you can analyze that with an AI agent, have a prompt, you can have memory, you can have database, and then based on that, you can do a bunch of like different things with it. It's super easy to build like I would say for people who don't know, to start building something with Telegram. I find it super easy as a test to build an AI chatbot in Telegram. So you can have your own ChatGPT inside of your Telegram chat. Super simple. Anyway, so that is N8N, and they just raised $180 million in an evaluation of 2.5 billion. So that's
I'm going to send my friend this, because
big number,
and they want to hire him. So
2.5 billion for an automation tool, and now ChatGPT, OpenAI is entering this game exactly, which is automating tasks, agentic tasks. And with N8N, so far you can do like more, I believe, but OpenAI is probably also going to add more to whatever they are building right now. I'm using N8N mainly because it's self-hosted, so it's on my own server, Hetzner, and it's super cheap. It cost me I believe $7, and I don't have to pay extra per operation. So typically with these tools, each time that you run your automation, you pay. But when it's on your own server, you just pay your monthly rate. And if you have too many automation, you will see that your server cannot handle it, so you have to upgrade. But you essentially pay much less in most cases. So it's a super cheap
open source, baby. Open source. I think I have a video on how to set up an N8N server on your own server, by the way.
And I'm so happy that open source is winning here. I mean,
sure.
Make.com and Zapier, they are so expensive, especially Zapier is extremely expensive.
I think N8N Cloud is $30 a month. So
N8N is also expensive if you just buy it from them. But if you host it anywhere, you can host it on Hetzner, and Hetzner is so unbelievably cheap. You can get a server that would work just fine for $4.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think I pay $6 or even $12 dollars for my DigitalOcean Docker image that hosts this. But no, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Saying all that, like NAN is an interesting place because, like, yes, it's very, very powerful. Yes, it's the sort of the perfect kind of storm of AI agents and what you can do with them, because you can integrate it with so many more things. You have so much more control. Like, you have to wait for it. Well, you don't have to wait for an integration, but like Zapier, for instance, you wait for those integrations and then you can use the tool. Whereas this, you can like attack, you can send stuff to APIs. Not that you can't do that on Zapier, especially now, but NAN were the kind of leaders in all this. So they're an interesting spot. And what relevance do they have? I don't know, but Series C at 180 million shows that they've got a lot of relevance. There's probably a lot in the pipeline that they've presented in their pitch decks that has people excited. So yeah, I mean, that's
I don't
cool.
know how they make money. Is it only
Cloud
through self-hosting? Well, not hosting it for you, essentially.
Yeah, cloud. Yeah. NAN cloud. Yeah, that's where most of their money comes from. I think me and Mike Kieran were talking about this. I think they've got that. I think they build enterprise tools as well. But realistically, the tool is built. Like, you get minor updates all the time. There's never going to be a massive overhaul. And that's where I was like, well, what is left for this tool? It's just scale. They've just got scale. I don't know. There's probably more to it.
Yeah, but, they probably want to build like more agentic stuff, maybe simplify things, maybe automation for automations.
That's what I'm saying. They've got the MCP server, which I think could be improved a little bit. It's quite hard to spin up an NAN thing through MCP, but especially on self-hosted as well. I think it's easy with cloud, but self-hosted, I think you've got to create an automation for MCP to then connect with the other automations. Anyway, but yeah, I think there could be some. There's room here to challenge OpenAI's AgentKit or the agent builder to just a more friendly, version of NAN that is just a bit more like Zapier, a bit more like Make, a bit more like Agent Builder. But who knows?
Yeah. And for if anyone is interested in getting this, but you don't want to go through hosting stuff and NAN itself is too expensive, you can, like, one of the best deals that I've seen is through Hostinger. Like, Hostinger gives it to you and they host it for you. So they do everything, and it's still cheaper than anything else. So you can get the smallest version for $5 a month. It's just so cheap. You can get started, and as you scale, if you have a lot of automation, it's a good thing, and you probably are making money, and you can scale.
Saying that, if anyone, I've got referral links for Hostinger, so probably even cheaper again. So you get like $100 or something like that, or $25 or something. So you get even cheaper again. Let's keep moving with the OpenAI stuff, because there's more, man. There's more. Sora 2 on the API as well, which is really cool, and Sora 2 Pro. Very expensive, I've heard. I think, very, but it's good that it's here, to be honest. You mentioned something about Sora 2 your end as well, right?
What is Sora 2 Pro, by the way?
Just a better version of Sora 2, basically the Pro version. I guess it's more detail, more everything, balls to the wall, GPU usage. So it's 30 cents as opposed to 10 cents for a 720p image. I don't know whether this is per minute or something. GPT. Where's Sora? Say when you see it. No, can't see it there. Oh, here we go. Audio, video. Here we go. It doesn't say. It can't be 30 cents per video, surely. Per second. There you go. Per second. 30 cents per second.
Oh man, that is expensive.
So, yeah. Use wisely. That
is expensive. So we can't make a movie anytime soon, like every day.
And that's 720p, by the way. So you jump up to what do you even call this?
I don't know. Almost full HD.
Almost full HD. 50 cents. 50 cents. So yeah.
Per second.
per second. Yeah, for 50 cents per second.
That is insane. That is insane. That means if I want to make a meme out of my friends and it's like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's
that's
not
first world
cheap.
problems right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. True. Well, I do pay for memes sometimes. Anyway, we'll talk about. So should I talk about like Sora 2 now or separately? Maybe we do it separately.
Oh, okay, up to you.
Yeah, let's do it separately. So you finish those and
Okay.
we give it like an
Well,
update.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of it from, I mean, yeah, Codex general release, GPT-5 Pro as well. Maybe we can look at that. That's let's go on Open Router and have a look at if they even have it. GPT-5 Pro, they do. And yeah, so $15 in, $120 out. And we thought Sonnet was expensive. Sonnet is $3 in, $15 out. So this is an expensive model. You better be making megabucks if you're going to use GPT-5 Pro. But yeah, I'm sure this is bring your own API key. Maybe, I don't know.
So you're telling me it's not getting cheaper?
I'm telling you the models that are cutting edge are getting very, very expensive. But you got to remember, they're absolutely getting cheaper because the amount of performance you can get that you used to have to pay, again.
In that sense, yes.
Not these prices, yeah. So, yeah, I think you've got to change your expectations or lower your expectations and say, well, you're now paying some of the stuff they're free, but you're paying 0.1 cent for the same sort of performance you would have got 3 years ago. As long as you live in the past, basically.
Yeah.
But there we go. Lots of exciting stuff to think. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the guidelines as well, the design guidelines.
Oh yeah, for the apps, right?
For the apps, yeah. So there are brand guidelines, which would be quite interesting to get your teeth into. Yeah. Where are we?
So this is about how to build a UI inside of a chat experience.
Yeah. Conversational experiences, intelligent, simple, responsive, accessible. I mean, it's quite a long article, to be fair. But yeah, color. How to use color, typography, rules of thumb. So spacing system as well. So they have thought about it. They're not. And I think they would because it's a micro app within an app. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to really be efficient with space. It's like mobile design on steroids.
Yes, and this is also like it's been tested and it works in the East, by the way, much better than the West. Like if you look at China, they have like this idea of super apps. They have WeChat and they have like WeChat, absolutely everything inside of that
absolutely
app.
Everything. Absolutely everything.
Well
done.
So not intended, but I'll take
checks in the mail for that one. You can use that one at the party tonight.
So it's absolutely filled with mini apps. You can basically have your Uber and your pizza and pay your friends like a share of a meal or
maybe
whatever.
You've just unlocked what ChatGPT are going for, to be honest.
So there are like I've seen some videos, I've watched some videos on this, and I find it fascinating because this is about culture and also design. Like in Eastern cultures, apparently, and I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm from Middle East, so it's.
You're literally in the middle. Is that another pun? Is there a pun there with that?
What is happening today? So, yes. So apparently, like in Japan and also like in China, people care. They want to see all the information in one view. So their websites are more crammed with every piece of information. And on the West, it's much more like separating things from one another. That's why this idea of like super app has been tried many times in the West, and it has never worked. It hasn't worked yet. Even like Facebook tried that. Facebook tried to do everything in one place, and not really working. X, Twitter, like Elon Musk bought Twitter to specifically try this. He's still kind of trying to like merge everything in one place, but it hasn't. Telegram is kind of like the best thing that has been. It's not the super app, but it has like a shit ton of features. It's so feature rich, and it has like a lot of users. I believe like over 1 billion, and it's also popular in the West as well. So I don't know if because of that culture reason, if OpenAI, the idea of like a super app could be successful, because that there is also a culture incompatibility with it. But we'll see. I don't love the idea. I don't. Yeah. But if it's good, if it can make my life easier in any way, sure. Like I find a lot of times that I want to like get help in curating. I'm not a music guy. I don't listen to a lot of music. But if I want to get some help at curating like a playlist for me, I do actually get. I ask my friends and like my siblings for like to send me songs, because I feel like sometimes I feel like outdated. I'm like, okay, well, can you send me some good stuff? I don't listen to a lot of music. I'm a more like podcast. And anyway, so we'll see. We'll see.
Cool. Let's move on to plan mode in Cursor. Wherever it is, I think I've just got a video.
Yeah, I saw this by accident. It just I opened my cursor and there was like the plan mode, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
stop raw dog in your AI development. Plan mode is finally available in Cursor, and I am here for it. So yeah, it is exactly what it says on the tin. I think they introduce a few little niceties here, but if you're not familiar with Claude Code, which already has a plan mode, you shift tab, which is the same thing here. For me, this is the recommended way to build features. I think that the idea of a plan mode is when you send an agent off to do some coding, it's kind of figuring it out in real time. It kind of broadly looks at everything, but it's almost like shoveling snow while it's still snowing. It's making changes. Whereas this will just look at everything and plan it out. And if you can combine this with some MCP servers, if you can combine it with some level of like thinking mode and whatever, then you'll have a plan that it outputs to a MD file that one you can reference later on. I often do that. I'll make an MD file so that I can push it up, and then I'll do that in a different branch later on or whatever. But yeah, it will give you a plan before then you start executing it. And what often happens, it breaks it into phases. For some reason, tells you it's going to be like, this is week 1, and this is going to take a week to do, and this is going to be 3 weeks. Like it still uses antiquated, what do you call
Interesting.
it? Yeah. So, but I literally built a 6-month project in a day.
What do you mean? Aren't you going to one-shot it for me like in 30 seconds? What do you mean 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I say it in a different way, because I noticed this, but I haven't used it. But so the way I see it, essentially today, when you use Cursor, you have the option to chat or like use the agent. So the agent does something out of like just right away, and it might break things. You don't want that. And the chat, I noticed that I go back saying, okay, the things that you said should be done, now do them. So I'm going like in this mode that should have a in-between mode. And this is exactly that. That is kind of like chatting with the AI, but what you get is not just a chat. What you get is a plan that the AI can execute on in a step-by-step way. And this gets me excited because last week I started with like a GitHub repo from somebody from the Webflow community to essentially learn what this guy is doing, like some crazy shit with animations, and I want to, get in and learn it. So I I was trying to learn that using cursor, and it was not doing what I wanted, because I wanted to give me a plan to look at the entire doc, the README file, everything, and give me a plan how I can use this structure and start like building piece by piece. But the chat mode was not good, because with the chat mode, it gives you a plan, but it's in a chat, and you can't say, okay, number 1 is done, let's go to the next one.
But you could say output this plan to an MD file.
But now we can. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you couldn't do that before.
Well, I didn't know how to do it.
Well, I didn't think. You didn't think. You just didn't think to ask it. Just output this plan.
Think for me.
But you're the master of your own destiny. So just correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you want to implement this. So you want to write it. You don't want the agent to write this code.
Yes, in this case, because
plan. Yeah.
I mean, in this case, I want to. Yeah. In this case, this repo is about me learning. It's not a framework, but close to like a mini framework. How to do like cursor and not cursor, how to do like GSAP and 3JS and this kind of things inside of Webflow.
Yeah.
With this framework. And I don't know a lot of these things, so I have to start from the very basis, but I want to do it following like this guy's experience.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you going into ChatGPT and again, master your own destiny. Tell it that you want to implement it and that it needs to tell you what code to add and why you're adding it and what it does, right? So you need to tell it that. There's nothing stopping you doing this inside of ChatGPT, but the benefit here being inside a cursor is that it has context to your code base. So this is how to implement it in your files that you already have. So this is great. I always struggle to understand why this is any different to, for me, this is just a system prompt. You change the system prompt. I don't know why this would be any different to being an edit mode, but you say, do not make any changes, just make a plan. I don't know what the difference will be. It would be interesting to find that out, but it's nice just to know, because I guess in some instances I have had it just start working on stuff. I'm like, no, don't do anything. Like, I want you to just, whatever.
Yeah.
That all being said, you got to tell it that you want to implement it, but it will just look at all of your files and make a comprehensive plan for you to do later on. And this one automatically makes an MD file for you. So I often have to ask Claude Code to make it an MD file for me to output it to it. It just creates a plan and that's it. Ask me if it wants to start implementing it. The other one is, I don't know whether you've noticed this, but it'll actually auto recommend itself. So if you're writing something that sounds like you're asking for a plan, it will say, do you want to use plan mode? So that's quite good. That's quite nice. And then it always comes back with questions as well. So that I like that feature. Oftentimes Claude Code almost just never come back with questions trying to like clarify things. Maybe I should add that into my root memory file to say, anytime I'm in plan mode, ask me clarifying questions, because it's that's a nice feature that I saw on this as well. So pretty good. And I would recommend it to everyone building out big features. Like, just take a moment to plan it and take a step back, just be methodical. I know we're so eager to like fucking just build and like work fast. Like, take your foot off the gas, just be a controlled, organized freak when it comes to AI coding. So pretty good.
Cool. I will use that. Actually, I'm going to restart this project and use plan mode to basically learn. Shout out to Federico I believe Federico. Federico Valla for his amazing work, by the way. And I don't know if he wants me to share this or not, because I got it as a Twitter DM, so I'm hesitant sharing it. I think he has plans on like announcing it publicly, but if you search it on GitHub, you'll find it. So if somebody really wants to work with his framework that he's working on, you can find it. So
my mate is texting me about N8N, so he's making tracks within there to be to whatever, because we spoke about everything we spoke about just before, simplifying the experience and whatever. N8N are perfectly primed to be a really successful company, and I think it would be a smart move for him to go and work there. But so let's move on to Anthropic. Unless there's anything else about Cursor you want to talk about?
No.
So Anthropic think they're the big cheese when it comes to AI alignment. So much so that they've just open sourced their internal alignment tool for anyone to modify. Now, this is quite nice. I think it's a bit, how do you call it? Egotistical. But that's just, I think I'm just combining my vibes from Anthropic more than actually what this means. This is actually a really good tool. So we don't have to talk much on this, but Petri, an open source auditing tool to accelerate AI safety research. So we've discussed alignment. We know what alignment is. Acting within the best intentions of humanity, and then actually does what it tells you to do. But what I found quite interesting is the open source nature. Not only is people allowed to use it for free, you're able to modify it. So the UK AI Security Institute have modified it with their own preferences. What do they consider alignment, and what they've changed it into an auditing tool. If we're clicking through into here, see what it says, to make sure that AI governance is done correctly in their institute. So I quite like that. I quite like that you can. I'm presuming you can run any coding tool through this. To be honest, you can say, look, this is what it's a governance and what's the word I'm looking for? Compliance mechanism to say this is how we deem an AI to be workable and whatever within our organization. Petri have already kind of, taken the lead on that. So quite a nice little, it's always good to see open source stuff, but it's kind of, that's kind of it. It begs the question, who will adopt it? And again, Anthropic have their own ideas of what alignment is and whether everyone deems that, because I think a lot of people will just use this at face value and won't modify it whatsoever. I mean, there's no harm in that, but you're taking Anthropic's trust, which we are already doing anyway, right? OpenAI are auditing have got their own alignment goalposts and all this, that, and the other. So pretty cool. Anything to add to that?
Not much. I'm not sure. It's kind of like nice to see, but I'm not sure, honestly.
We also have a really interesting move. We talk about the App Store and stuff like that. Really interesting move by Anthropic again, where they have they've potentially just had their App Store moment when it comes to Claude Code. Plugin Marketplace is now available for all of your /command, agent, MCP, and hook needs. Now, if none of that makes sense to you, basically it's an encapsulation. Like Claude Code has /commands, which enable you to use reusable, what do you call it? Reusable prompts, reusable system prompts. Like I have one called question, which is similar to what we were talking about when it comes to, it just says, answer the question, don't make any changes. So I have a / prompt that just always does that as an example. But you can create MCP servers with their new agent SDK as well. This could be ones that you've written or Claude Code specific ones. And then hooks are their actions that respond to certain stages in the agentic workflow. So something I want to look more into. I want to nerd out on that one weekend, but I haven't done so yet. And so this is an encapsulation of all of those things that you can then provide to the community. So I actually thought I could demonstrate, or even just not even demonstrate, but just look at it practically with regards to, if I stop my screen share, inside of the context of Claude Code, so we can all see it. Where is Warp? Here we go. So basically, inside of Claude Code, so if I type let's clear this. If I type Claude, it's going to load up, do its thing. If you type /plugin, you've got to add, it looks like you've got to add the marketplace. So I would, and these are just GitHub repos. So if my marketplace is like a GitHub repo, you add the marketplace, and then within that marketplace, so it's adding it here. Okay, so it's already installed. Very, very good. And then if I escape that, then within here, in fact, I'll just do it again. You can type plugin and then browse and install plugins. So I can then, I've only got one installed. So I've got the Claude Code plugin thing here, and then I can look. So I'm interested in the feature dev one. So this is the one that they've used internally, that I'm guessing that whenever they add a new feature, they've got a set of MCP servers, set of prompts, set of this and set of that mean that their features always go out with this level of due diligence. I don't know this for 100% certainty, but then, yeah, it makes sense. Also security guidance. So quite nice that you can, this be something that people sell? I don't know. Like, is this something that you could not sell, sorry, but like, you know what I mean? Make some sort of impact, like the Webflow marketplace as an example. Is this someone like, oh, we just build plugins for Claude Code, you know?
Yeah, but it's super niche.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, very, very niche, very niche. I'm quite excited for it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but that's my understanding of it all. Yeah, be interesting to see how that goes on. Let's get on to some Framer stuff, I think. Should I open these and I'll share them, or are you going to share them?
Well, I can share.
You can share.
The thing is, we wanted to also talk about Sora a little bit.
Go for it.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I was going to say we were going to bring that up during the other segment, so we'll have to edit this. So let me. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So we talked about Sora also last week. You've probably seen some Sora videos. These are like AI generated videos. The company behind it, OpenAI, they are losing money on it, and they have a huge financial problem. It seems like making funny AI videos is not generating a lot of money for them, and it costs them a lot of money to make those videos, and people are not really paying. And people are also not using their app because they have a social media type of app with it that people don't use. They just generate the video and take it out and share it on social media somewhere else. So Sam Altman, the CEO, also had this blog post on his personal website saying that they are going to make some changes. One of them is about copyright. So they had this thing that was very backward, like copyright. You had to opt out, meaning that if you didn't want your content to be used, you would have to contact them and basically tell them, do not use our content. For example, Disney would have to do that. And now they have some issues with SpongeBob and I don't know, like many characters that people are using, and they're they are Nintendo. Yes,
crazy.
People are using
the audacity of this. The audacity to be like,
anyway. And he knows. Like, of course, he's not dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. If he feels like he can get away with it, or just with a fine, with a slap on the wrist, he does it. Right? It's not the end of the world.
Probably won't go after him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like it's gotten really bad because people generated, I don't know, SpongeBob with drugs, things like this. And of course, Disney was not happy, and many examples like this.
Is it? And it's such a debate, isn't it? It's such a debate.
Yeah, and they're not making money on it because
exactly that's what that prompted me to say it's such a debate, because these people aren't making money out. Well, actually, who are you saying isn't making money? What, you talking about the Teletubbies aren't making money out of this?
Nobody. So nobody's making money.
Technically are, but
not really. They are not making money. They are getting some money, but like the money that it costs to run those servers and to basically get the AI to that level is costing them far more than what users are paying for whatever they are paying. So yeah, at the end they are losing money. And there is this good example that came to my mind, like comparing it to this meme generator. I shared this on the stream before. I think you've used it as well. Let me zoom in on this. You see this?
Sorry, I'm just sending scumbags to a Telegram group that I've been added to that they're talking about trading and whatever. Sorry.
You have to opt out.
Yeah.
Scumbags. I don't let anybody add me.
Leave. Anyway, sorry. I'm back in the room. Sora 2, me, and meme generator. There you go. There you go.
So this tool doesn't make money. Well, maybe a little bit with ads, but not really. So meme generator, we use it for memes, like on our Discord, we use it all the time. Okay. And what this is essentially, we have some like internal jokes with friends, or like we make fun of a friend, and this is how we do it with a meme. We put each other's heads on characters or write each other's names depending on the situation. And to me, honestly, like Sora 2 today is just that, but animated and like fun. So yes, there is this idea that you can create like advertisement and like movies and like crazy shit with it and theoretically get paid for it. Yes, you can do that, but the quality is still not there to be that good in most cases. Yeah, in some cases you could, but in most cases it's not there to do everything that you want reliably. So what people ended up using Sora for is just essentially creating memes. That is a glorified version of meme generator, and it's causing.
But that was always the point, by the way, wasn't it? That was like,
Well,
that's why Sam let his, what do they call it when you can let your face be used? Is it like a
yes, I know the toilet one, but yes, the meme was a part of it, but we were promised AGI, like we were promised cancer treatment, and what we have now is quite literally a bubble. Like I don't know how else to call this if not a bubble. And as you mentioned it earlier in the show, maybe it won't burst, maybe, or even if it does, maybe the burst is not so huge to take down, the society or like any industry with it, but it's probably going to burst because the way it is now, it's kind of like very funny. NVIDIA is giving OpenAI money, and OpenAI using that money to buy chips from NVIDIA. Okay, and OpenAI is buying chips from AMD, and AMD is giving OpenAI 10% of their stock. And now we have Oracle somehow that is going to use AMD chips to build something for OpenAI, OpenAI promising to give them money. You see, it's all a self-perpetuating situation where a few companies are, taking the shareholders' money, essentially, because when they talk about it, the value goes up. They are taking that money and they are putting it back in each other. And it's just this loop. And the issue is, who is making money? Like NVIDIA is making money. NVIDIA is absolutely making money. But who else is like, NVIDIA is not, OpenAI, is not actually making a lot of money. Oracle, we don't know how the deal will be. But a lot of the focus is on OpenAI releasing something, promising us and releasing it and delivering it. And the idea that if they do, they will make money on it. But they haven't yet. And I'm not saying they will never, but they haven't yet. They are making money, but their costs are significantly more than the amount of money they are making, and they are running really hard trying to get to the point that they can keep the users in, because open source is growing, as we saw with N8N and we see with AI models. There are not a lot of incentives to stay indefinitely with OpenAI. So all I'm saying is, if AGI comes along, if like these agentic things get like truly amazing, OpenAI might not be in the best position to get money from users. And all we have then is, a bunch of deals, a bunch of chips and warehouses that cost a ton. And then NVIDIA this case is, yes, they are making a lot of money, and it seems like they will continue making a lot of money. But if this is a bubble, and if this bursts, Nvidia is going down with it as well, because then people won't buy, like companies won't buy their extremely expensive chips anymore. They won't be able to buy because nobody's paying for their services. And right now it's just like paying each other, and the share goes up and more money per
At the end of the day, though, by the way, just more importantly, 69 viewers. Hello. Oh no, we're up to 70.
Oh no, somebody leaves. Should leave.
Question is, why do we care?
Why do we care?
Yeah.
If we are in a bubble, and if it bursts, a lot will go down with it. If, in the best case, so I believe it was Jeff Bezos talked about it. We have like two types of bubbles that we could be in. One is like the financial crisis in 2008. If we would have something like this, the whole society will not collapse, but will have challenges. They will have like difficulties with jobs, with money, with everything, right? Day-to-day life will become difficult, at least for a few years. But another type of bubble we could have is like the dot-com bubble. So the dot-com bubble is the early internet bubble, where there were a lot of we had a lot of startups trying to do something with the internet, and they had not figured out at that time how to make money with it. So they were like internet startups, and investors were pouring money in it, but nobody was making money. Kind of similar to what we have today. We knew for the fact, even at that time, even people who were like pessimistic about it, they knew that the internet and the idea of it is amazing, and we will eventually make money out of it. It's connecting a lot of people and services and companies, but we didn't know how. It's the time before like Google. I don't know if it was before Google, but I'm sure it was before Google making like money. Anyway, so we had this dot-com burst. A lot of companies went down. Essentially, they went to zero. They went to minus. Like they lost all the money that investors put in them. But a few came out of the ashes and rose to the top, such as Amazon. Amazon was one of the survivors who become a giant. Now, you could say, well, even if it's a bubble and it bursts and it's not the end of the world, but actually at that time, a lot of people, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people had difficulty. So it's not going to be easy. That's one reason. Another reason is, again, I'm repeating myself here, but we were promised AGI. I want to see AGI. I don't want to see a bubble. I don't want to see. Honestly, I don't like seeing Sora. Yes, it's fun, and I would use it for meme generation. But I would like to see like true AI, agentic shit that can do things, and not this increment that we see here, like this increment improvement that we've been seeing in the past 3 years that has not been really what we. But
maybe we're just not looking out for it. I'm sure we can find some very optimistic sounding articles. Like we're just a bunch of kids. I say we're a bunch of kids. We're not really, but like, I bet there's some pretty optimistic looking articles about AI. We talked about the mine password thing. We talked about, like, there's going to be stuff going on.
But how do you make money with these? Like, we're talking about an industry that costs a lot of money. Sure. And we still don't know how to make money with it, because I believe it's like 3% of the US electricity is going to AI. That is insane. Right. Like the amount of the new deal that I believe, I don't know which company was the new deal that they made to generate energy is like enough energy for 5 million houses. It's the investment.
Yeah, but we say the energy thing. I actually watched Dave Shapiro or something? He echoed my sentiment. I think the whole economics, economic, I think. No, not economic. Ecological impact of AI isn't exactly like, yes, it can power all these houses. That's fine. But how many, like, where is that got? It's probably taken that energy from elsewhere, right? It's not, people aren't driving as much. People aren't spending so much time on the, whatever it is. Anyway, that's just,
and there are
unprovable
ways to make energy. And it's kind of like a different topic. But I don't know. Are you familiar with the Kardashev? I believe it's called Kardashev scale. Yeah, and we are not even close to level 1 society civilization, and we want to go there. So I'm actually looking forward to have proper reasons to use more energy and build more ways to generate more energy, right? Because it means we, as a society, as civilization, we are advancing. Right. I like that. I like that idea, but I don't want that to be used for Sora to generate toilet salmon Altman in the toilet videos.
Let people have their fun. Why are you such a party pooper, Kabaza? Let people have their fun.
I will contribute to the fun and will make some videos like those out of my friends once I get access.
Gotta buy your how much are they going for on eBay? Did I ask you that?
I don't know. I think I asked Chris if he can find me a deal.
Sora is invite only, and people are selling their invites on eBay, which is Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Framer pricing.
Yeah. Let's move on to Framer pricing. So, if I show. So Framer has a new pricing announced, and you probably won't like it, especially if you were looking forward to use Framer or you're a Framer user. So to use Framer, to be like exact, to use Framer as a designer, it's free. And that is amazing about them. Another great thing about their pricing is it has been simplified. It is super simple to understand, but it's quite expensive. So they have this basic plan that costs 10 euros per month. That is not useful. You cannot use this for pretty much any website except like a simple portfolio. It gives you one CMS collection, which is better than nothing, but it's not really useful. Like you can't do a blog with a tag.
That's insulting.
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
what
what
it's
do you
for,
mean?
right? It's for a blog. That's all they're on.
No, you can't. Like, even for a blog, you have authors, you have tags, and if you want to build something proper, you need, for a blog, you need like
personal blog.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's really Okay, so if you want to build something that simple, you shouldn't even pay $10. You could just build it in Webflow, export it to Netlify, whatever, and you just don't pay anything. Anyway, the basic plan doesn't have staging, which is
zoom in a bit.
Staging and instant rollback. Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Well, I don't understand how that can be used. You don't have backups. Anyway, so that's the basic. Then we have the Pro, which is the Pro is even worse. You have 30 euros per month. So that is quite an upgrade. And if you pay annually, if you pay monthly, it's 45. So that's quite expensive if you want to just, get in and try your website for a few months. That's very expensive. And here you get only 10 CMS collections. And why am I saying only? Because I went back, I checked my client websites, the websites that we have launched this year for our clients. None of them have the less than 10 CMS collections. So we cannot use this. 10 CMS collections is not enough because you have testimonials, you have like your blog, you have your authors, you have people to add in. It adds up quickly. And you have like a fancy navigation, for example, like for one of our clients, we have a fancy navigation and we want to make it as easy as possible for the client to manage those items in the navigation. We use the CMS. So the CMS is not just for a blog. It's used for any repeatable like content type that you have that you want to kind of like use globally, like your FAQs, your glossary, so many things. Anyway, so this is quite expensive. Now, that's not the end of it, because you get only 10 CMS collections for $45 a month if you pay monthly. You get 2,500 items. It's okay-ish. I'm not, yeah, that's okay-ish. But if you add an editor, somebody else who can with another account join the project to edit the project, it costs another 50 per editor. Are you kidding me?
God.
Are you kidding me?
Where are they coming up with these numbers?
Like, why? Like, what is the justification behind this? Like, is it like the platform costs? Like, what is the justification? Like, you can't just make up. Well, I guess you can, but this is just made up prices. Anyway, translations cost 25 per local. And by the way, these are like annually, monthly. If we do annually, it's a little bit better. $40 per editor. It's still really bad.
Most people are well, I say most people are thinking. You think of your website in multiple years. You don't think of your website in multiple months, really, do you? Unless you're playing around. But like, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and $20 per local per like translation. So if you add another language, you pay €20 per month per language. It adds up quickly. And now that's not it. The problem is that the Pro is so small that it really fast, like actually fast for any client project. It pushes you to the next one, which is scale. It's €100 per month per website. And it's annually only. So you're paying 1,200 euros.
Yeah.
Yes. 1,200 euros for your website. And just with that, you now have like custom local regions. You have like A/B testing. You didn't have that before. And you have 20 collections. And even that is, to me, insulting that you pay 100 euros for 20 collections. With Webflow, I believe you pay like 30 euros for like 40 collections. It's just much better, like with Webflow. So this is what I said, like contrary to popular belief, Webflow is actually much cheaper than Framer. Webflow.com. I will make a video on this, like going in more details, but yeah.
What do they know that we don't know? Because they can't just be putting their finger out into the wind and thinking $50 per
23,
editor.
See? $23, not euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get 20 collections. This with Framer, this cost 100. It's like 4 times more expensive. Actually, like if you do dollar to euro, it's 5 times more expensive.
So they say, unlimited Figma designer or Framer designer, design pages. Yeah, unlimited pages, unlimited, whatever. But they're making it up once you then, what's the opposite of churn? When you promote yourself to a paid plan, because their paid plans are crazy expensive. But then it's like, well, you get the designer, and that'll be their way to justify it. You get the designer for 100 euros per month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah. And what I like with Webflow now, they have this. They previously had this thing that you would go from CMS to business, and then you would be pushed towards enterprise, which is expensive with every company. But now Webflow allows you to basically choose the amount that you actually need, and independently. Like if you need more CMS items, you buy more CMS items. If you need more bandwidth, you buy more bandwidth.
You need to combine the fact that Webflow charge per site with organization, right? There's 2 types of plans. So what is it?
Yes.
What is the total?
But it doesn't matter for your client, because your client doesn't pay for Workspace. So Workspace plan is for agencies. This is essentially me. Sure. If I want to have a big team, I do pay for the team functional.
Most agencies, most clients should probably upgrade to a plan, because
most of my clients,
more than happy. I always found when I worked with big clients, they had agency plans or whatever, because they would have landing pages and they would have other websites, you know, they wouldn't just have one website.
Yes, in that case, they will. So I have some clients who do pay for workspace plans, but most of like 90% of my clients are on the free version.
So it's an extra $20 for that. And so do Framer, with that, let's say for that $40 per, is that the workspace as well with multiple sites?
That's the good thing that I mentioned that earlier on, that you don't have that. So that is free.
Okay.
But if you add editors to a website, it costs again like 30 euros per editor. So it's different, but it could get more expensive even than the Webflow workspace, because you're paying per editor, which
make sure you do that in your video then. Yeah, because like, you know, you've got to take into account that you've got to look at your current audience, your customers, and say, well, how many of them have multiple designers and developers? Because, you know, if you only got one, if most of them only have one, then you have to worry about that $50 extra or €50 extra. But there is a total that we need to take into account. But it does feel like that Framer are just a bit more expensive. But then you do get the designer. That is a selling point, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. If you say Webflow has like this agency plan, this is for your workspace. So you would have, even if you pay this, you pay this for your entire, you know, for that person, that's like access to the team, and then you would have unlimited projects, etc. And then what do you do with those projects? With those projects, you're going to go live. So Webflow is going to be much cheaper when it comes to actually utilizing the projects that you have on your dashboard and setting them live. Because with Framer, you would have to add editors. So Framer kind of like, to me, it gets not exponentially, but it gets much more expensive per site that you add, because the individual sites are so much more expensive. With Webflow, yes, I agree. And this workspace plan, like I think Webflow should get rid of this. I don't know their numbers, but I can't imagine they are making a big chunk of their money from this, because this is only bigger teams who pay for this. And if you just look at it, just imagine the numbers. I assume we have by far more live websites than teams.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I look forward to the video and seeing looking at all these different use cases, because there are several use cases. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see who comes out on top. Do 3 different use cases and see who comes out on top of each of them. I can imagine
that's a good idea. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So I'll do a more in-depth video, but yeah, this is still quite expensive. I need to look into the community, what the Framer community says, because I actually don't know. I haven't checked Twitter today all that much. So
cool.
Okay, so the next one, I have, honestly, like I have 3 things that we can bundle together.
Great.
Yeah. So a few other things in the web design and web development that I want to share with you that happened this week, and I find them to be very interesting. One of them is this motion. Let me actually repeat this and like zoom properly and then repeat it. Okay. So the first one is this motion design made by Gal Shear. I think I pronounced his name wrong. And it went super viral. Let me actually reload the page. It says 1.5 million. It went super viral. Like multiple people also shared it. And it's a banger. Like, look at this.
There's a music to it.
Yeah, the
sound effects.
The sound design is also really nice. He did this branding for Framer. I don't know if he did it for free, for just did it, or they asked him to. But yeah, this is so sweet, and this is done with After Effects. So I saw this post. I saw it on Twitter like 10 different people shared it on Instagram. I saw it. If you do like cool work, people will share it, like including us. We are sharing it because it's so exciting and so amazing, like the work that he done. So that's something cool. Speaking of cool work, another one is, how was the Webflow.com, like the new Webflow website? How was it built? So Corey Moen, who is on the Webflow team, he's a designer slash developer. He led this project, and he shared in this video with no code supplied. That's like his tool that he's building. He shared some detail about how the website was built. What is interesting about it is that the project was like 15 different Webflow projects, mixing them in one. Mm-hmm. So they brought in a lot of like different separated projects in one project, and like I believe like mixing 45 different CMS collections, and like just bringing things down and making more lean in one project using the new component system. And also using the real-time collaboration, which we still don't have access to yet, but they've used it to have 6 developers on this project at the same time, building this giant. This is like an insanely huge website, all with components, and they used Mast. Mast is his framework. So they used Mast, and he shows how the component system is used. And interestingly enough, it's not a lot of different components, because with component variations and with component properties, you can create multiple layouts, all with one component. And to add to that, we have slots, which allows you to put components inside each other. You have cards, and you just reuse them in different places, in different like versions. And these render only the piece that is needed, so they don't like, you don't get the entire junk in the front end when you load it. So it's super performant.
It's not just showing and hiding things, it's literally rendering only what's necessary.
Exactly. It's not hiding it, it's just not publishing what you don't use. So this video is a cool shout out to watch, to see how a huge project like this is.
How long is it?
Because it's 7 minutes. I wish it was longer.
Jesus. Yeah, you sort of want it to be like a series. Do you know what I mean?
I want like a 2-hour version of this. Like honestly, I want 2 hours of this goodies.
Yeah, because it's you know, maybe not so much for the design, but for me, it's very interesting thinking the strategic side of, you know, when I first started doing web development, we would literally print out the website, right? And we would circle things, and we'd create like a mind map, not even a mind map, like a physical map on like, well, what's the word? Semantically, this component is the same as this component. They just look different. So how do we combine them? Do we create variations? Like you create a whole map of how everything is. And I'm sure they had to do that to get the most out of as little as possible, you know?
Yeah. And look how lean and
look at that.
The variable panel is just so lean. It's so little. It's efficient. Not like crazy efficient. Yeah, it's not crazy. That's why I love Mast, by the way. I don't like Plan First.
I always wanted to do a video on Mast. I always wanted to like look into it and whatever, but I just never got around to doing it.
Yeah, and because like the entire community started like using Client First, we have to use it. But I personally like Mast, and Mast is more developer friendly and leaner, and Client First is more.
Have you tried Lumos?
I've watched videos on it, but I haven't tried it. To me, Lumos is very exciting, but it feels a bit, and I don't want to use the word experimental, but a lot of it looks very complicated, honestly. And I am afraid of like trying to use it and not, I'm sure I will understand it. I don't think it's that complicated, but I don't feel like great sharing something that complex with everyone else and like handing that over to the client. Maybe I should rethink this. Maybe I should give it a try. And
I wonder what his, and all of these people, what Cohen's, Maury Cohen or Corey Moen? Corey Moen. I wonder what their one-liner is for these. Like, this is the design, or this is the style framework for, people
so we can
want, whatever.
We can look at this. So MAST is a lightweight framework of essential classes, components, and strategies to help you build efficiently for any brand and scale in Webflow. They are efficient, and they are Webflow. They are developer friendly, and they are based on the idea of MAST is based on Bootstrap.
Interesting.
Are you familiar with Bootstrap?
Yeah, which is very interesting because Bootstrap is kind of dead, and
it is
bloated and horrible.
Yeah.
But it laid the foundations of a lot of what we do today. The componentized, components really started with Bootstrap.
Yeah. So try to do less. Try to do more with less CSS. Anyway, I like it because it's more developer friendly and more leaner. If it's leaner at the start, it gives me more freedom to add whatever like system or class that I want on top.
This sounds like a good idea for a video for you as well, though, is this idea of like taking MAST, taking Lumos, taking client first and saying, this is what it is and this is why it's good. Who's that Marcel guy? Small, medium, large or something. He had one that's that looks like he's working quite heavily on that. Have you heard that one?
No, I'm not sure. Like, I know there are like other frameworks as well.
Yeah, but just establishing those one-liners based on your experience. Like, this is great for doing. It's a lot of research, to be fair, but I think that would be very helpful because people probably are looking at all these frameworks and being like, well, which one is good and why would I use this one? How do I know it's going to be right for me?
Yeah. I think to me, MAST it seems like to be the middle ground that is lightweight and simple enough that I can hand to another developer and understand it. Client first had this idea to share it with your clients, but I never understood why would I want sorry Finsweet team, but why would I want to share like the designer, the classes with my client?
That's amateur designers, which we all were at one point, thinking this is a good idea, thinking, oh yeah, they won't. But then you get more advanced in your career and you learn that no, like we do not want, they shouldn't want to. They should focus on what they're good at, they're hiring me to be anyway, whatever.
And Webflow is nowadays amazing at being good for like low and non-technical users. So as a developer, I can build this beautiful like component system. These green things that you see on the screen, these are components. And you can now put these inside of each other, and any non-technical people can do this because you have a component that is a button and you put it wherever you want. Well, not exactly wherever you want wherever I as a developer allow you to. So there is less chance of you breaking the design, and even if you do, you can, it's like Lego blocks that you can pull out and like put back together how you want. So client first, I'm not a big fan honestly, but we use it because the entire like ecosystem. Anyway, so the last thing that I want to touch on is about this. Developers love headless until they are stuck maintaining it. And I feel like you will have some feelings about this. So the whole idea is, should you use a CMS like Webflow, which has API, and you can also build something around it and on top of it? Or should you go just completely headless and build your own CMS with a headless solution that you have to maintain and update and scale? So
well, case by case basis, but
that's a good way to put it in. But the way they showed it, by the way, is like with headless you have editor and then the headless, and you do the webhook, the localization, A/B testing things, and then you do the builds, and then until you get to the live site, and you have to handle the caching, etc. With Webflow, you have just the CMS, you edit visually, and then you publish, and that's it.
I mean,
and they have this comparison.
My thoughts are building up.
Yeah. So,
I mean, what in a nutshell, what's going on there? I can't read that at all.
Okay. Well, architecture, content modeling, hosting. Well, yeah, of course, hosting, but versioning. So,
what are they comparing this to, by the way? This looks like a comparison chart. Like, what are they?
They're comparing it to headless, to any headless, just general headless
any
CMS.
other headless CMS, like Contentful, Prisma.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And versioning, like you do have to have requires Git based, but Webflow has built-in branching and staging and rollback.
Sorry.
Doesn't exactly, because Webflow has backups, but it doesn't. I don't. Maybe this is enterprise.
So can you go to a website and just buy the Webflow headless CMS? Is that what they're saying here?
Well, you could do that. You could buy the Webflow. You could use the Webflow CMS and then use the API to use the content anywhere you want.
So this is kind of forming the backbone to my opinion here. It's like, unless you can buy this separately and they offer it, all of this stuff for $5, then cool, starts to look a bit more appealing. But if you can only get it when you have a Webflow website, then really all this says to me is the only people who should use this are people that want to share data between their Webflow website and an external app.
Yes, and I think that is also what they are realistically looking at.
So it's not really comparable to all of these other tools, right?
Not necessarily, not in every situation.
This is just a really good feature to know that you can actually. I'm surprised that you can read the Webflow. I thought you could read all of this stuff through the Webflow API anyway. So I wonder what
you can, but I believe I don't know if you have like some limits on it. Well, you do have some limits if you use a free account and a free site plan. Then you have a limit on the amount of CMS items that you can create and the amount of collections that you can create.
Sure. So how is this different then from, whether it's free or paid? How is the headless CMS different from just me accessing the API?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read the
information you should have.
No, I just saw this and I was like, I haven't read the entire thing. I skimmed through it, and I don't understand everything. That's the part also, a part of the issue. I haven't worked with any headless CMS.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's a UI that you can bolt onto. Let's. I
don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is meant to be used just like the way you use Webflow, like through the Webflow designer.
Just headless CMS definition. Head of it until they stop maintaining it. If you're evaluating to make sense, you get API, structured content model, freedom, do what you want. But websites aren't just developer. Visual tools offer a faster path, but teams don't often feel forced between control and velocity. Webflow takes a hybrid approach, a visual first CMS that might. Yeah, so it's the interface that you already know and love that you naturally use, and they're just revealing that through. So I'm struggling to understand what the difference is, because as a developer, it doesn't change anything. Like, no one's going to use this headless CMS on its own. It's most likely going to already be part of a website. So I'm sorry, Webflow. What are you talking about?
Why a hybrid CMS works better? They have it here.
But this always existed, is my point. This has existed since the first Webflow API. There's nothing new here.
Yes, what they're trying to do is like convince you why you shouldn't use a headless CMS, because you have to maintain it.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. That's the point that I got across.
Sure. But why would you pay all that money? Like, where's the pricing comparison between using Contentful and Webflow? I mean, they should have. Is there a pricing comparison anyway?
No.
Because like, okay, let's take.
What is the pricing?
Is quite expensive, to be honest. So maybe it is cheaper to literally just buy a Webflow thing. $300 a month, free forever, 10 users, 2 roles, 50 gigs. So free is pretty generous, but then it goes way up. This is Contentful, by the way.
Yeah, but this is pretty good. Like, this is live collaboration doesn't exist in the free version. Mm-hmm. Okay, commenting doesn't you can't schedule. Okay, so you're pushed towards the light version, which is quite expensive. Yeah, Contentful is definitely for like big teams and with big CMS requirements.
I'm literally asking Comet AI, why would I use this over Contentful on the Webflow?
You also have Sitecore. Do you know Sitecore?
Yeah, Sitecore's that's like WordPress basically, but they offer a headless solution.
So the pricing here, I don't even see a pricing.
Come on, Comet, what are you doing? Okay, just bailed on me. Why would I use Webflow headless CMS over Contentful?
They don't have a pricing. I have no idea what.
Yeah, it's like enterprise. Like,
yeah, when they don't have this, it's like, oh, okay, it's just 100K.
Yeah, exactly.
Like starting at 100K.
Exactly, and businesses think they're paying for the SLA. They're not paying for the technology. Yeah. They're paying for the 100% uptime and this and that and the other. Why are you working?
Well, anyway, this is kind of maybe something that you would like to go through sometime.
Well, I'm waiting on my response from. Oh my God, why did I do that? I've got to do it again. Why would I use Webflow headless CMS over Contentful?
If you look at this diagram as also, we have the Webflow designer, and then you can use the API to have your web app, and you have your Webflow cloud, and you can have that mixed with your Webflow project. So maybe they are like going this direction, at least like marketing it, because they want to market, they want to advertise it to this type of people who would bring their web app to Webflow cloud as well as their marketing. They're like marketing website, and this could make sense to them. I mean, if you bring your web app to Webflow cloud, you already have your website on Webflow probably. So there is no point at saying, oh, don't use Contentful, use us.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, unless they release this as a separate little thing, there's just no point in using this unless you've got a Webflow website already and you're already using Webflow, because no one's going to be like, let's just buy Webflow but only access the API, because that's what truly headless. That's what headless CMS is. Webflow. You've got your terminology wrong here, but if you've got the interface and all that, then you might as well use it, right?
Yeah.
Weird approach. So it's not a new tool. But just to be clear, this is not a new tool. This isn't something new that's been released at all. This has always been the case. This is just a marketing tactic to try and maybe capture some developers who didn't know that you could do this with Webflow.
Yeah,
potentially.
And
as far as I understand,
it wasn't like mentioned as a new thing. By the way, Corey, if you're watching this, I saw this misalignment. This bothers me. You see it, right?
I'm not crazy. No, what are you talking about?
This misalignment.
What misalignment?
This is not aligned. I see it as misaligned. Am I crazy?
Hey, you're crazy. Okay. What are you talking about?
Crazy. No, it's not misaligned. It's not. I'm sorry. It looked misaligned. Okay.
Come on, let's wrap up. We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's
Is there anything else?
No, all I wanted to say, I got distracted because I thought this is misaligned. All I want to say, this was not about a new tool. This was just saying that headless CMS creates more work. It's basically saying, hey, don't use headless CMS. That's it. Or be careful. Be careful. Be careful what you are getting yourself into. It's just a lot of work. But yeah, that was it. So
let's see if you can pick up on this then. So, well, that's all we have time for. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Command AI Show, pretty much across all the platforms. And join us next week for all of the news in AI, design, and dev. I've been Sam.
And I've been Kavarza.
Keep on vibing.
Peace out.
Yeah!
Nice.